Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Meydan Racecourse here on Friday. It is the 3rd of February 2023. Going to look at almost all the races on the program from Meydan, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. Let's look at the action from Meydan. We're going to look at all the races except the first race, the purebred Arabian race. We're going to skip that race and start over with the second race now, which is the Vazirabad Handicap. It's a handicap going for an $80,000 purse. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 11 horses taking a lap around the Meydan main track, turf course, which is 2,400 meters in circumference, or a mile and a half on the turf course. I'm going to take the one-horse Dahabi as a top selection. Let's go 1-8-10 in your tri-cash trifecta. 1-8-10 tri-cash trifecta, top selection, one-horse Dahabi. 5-year-old Gellin by Frankel here. Godolphin known. Charlie Outby trains. William Buick gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 6th of January here at Meydan, a mile and a half in a handicap. He finished 4th by 1.5 lengths that day, and he sat back early. He moved a little bit late, but he still needs something. I think first off the bench, he probably needed the race. Coming here second off the bench, back to a mile and a half with a better post draw, I think he could really run a good race. Even with the ginormous weight of 137 pounds on his back, he did win two starts back with a ginormous weight on his back. They came at Newmarket on the 22nd of September, a mile and a half in a handicap there, and he won by a nose, carrying 143 pounds with class relief from his previous races. He stalked, he didn't break so well early on, but after that he stalked, he quickened up nicely, and he got the job done from a tracking position. An all-around good race for him there. And then prior to that, the 8th of September at Doncaster, off the bench, mile and a quarter conditions race, he finished 3rd by 9.75 lengths that day. And he just stalked and never really quickened up. I do think he just was 100% crank that day. And then the 3rd of June at Doncaster over the mile and the handicap. He finished 2nd by 2.25 lengths that day. And he was gaining late, but he still needed something more. Also, he didn't break so well, which probably cost him. Refreshing back here, second off the bench. I think he could get the job done. I'm going to use him. I think the 8-horse here at First Ruler for James Dolan and Charlie Outby is your second likeliest winner. On that 6th of January race, this horse was breaking from stall 11 and was just a little bit too wide off the bench. He's breaking from stall 11 today again, but I think he could have some more forwardly pace to overcome it. I think it'll be a little bit more fresher since the last race, a little quicker ground. I'll give him a shot also in the multi-race. The quad pod begins with this race. I think you want to go a little deeper. So to recount my selection for the second from Meydan, it's Vazirabad Handicap. Let's take the one-horse Dahabi. Give kudos to the 8-horse First Ruler. 1-8-10 tri-cash trifecta. 1-8 in your play spot, or your play spot or your pick 6. Let's get to the third race from Meydan. It is the Group 3 Shindagha Sprint. It's a Grade 3 event or a Group 3 event for Class 1 horses, going for a $150,000 purse. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. 15 horses are entered to go 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the dirt course. I'm gonna take here as a top selection the number 6 horse Isolate. Let's go 6-8-3 in your tri-cash trifecta. 6-8-3 tri-cash trifecta. Top selection 6 horse Isolate. This 5-year-old horse by Mark Valesky here. Doug Watson trains. Pat Dobbs gets him out, making his first start in the UAE. Most recently ran the horse at Churchill in illicit stakes over the 6 furlongs on the 17th of September, and he finished second by a nose that day. And he was down on the front in most of the race. He got caught late at the wire, but he ran his heart out. I think he's going to have a lot of speed here. He could overcome a little bit of a wide trip, and I think he could get the job done. Speed's been very good on this track lately. 2 back at Saratoga, 7 furlongs in a listed stakes there, and the horse won by 6 lengths that day, and basically on the front and all throughout. He quickened up nicely and got the job done there. And then an overnight stakes at Hawthorne over the 6.5. He won by 2.5. Again, he stalked, he got the lead, quickened up nicely. He went away with it. An all-around good race. He has a lot of speed here. He breaks usually on top. I say that now he's going to break slowly and not get into it. But usually he breaks on top. He should get a good trip here. At 5-1, I think he's the fastest horse in this race. I think the 8-horse Mubarak, excuse me, 7-year-old Gellin by Spice Downs, your second likeliest winner. Most recently in the Dubawi Stakes a few weeks ago, he just stalked and couldn't get the good turn of foot. He finished second by 1.5 lengths. First start back since the Godolphin Mile. Probably need the race. Last year's Godolphin Mile, he finished 5th, never getting a good trip. But he had a very good place before that in the Burj Nahar. Second off the bench, course and distance winner It wouldn't surprise me if it gets the job done. We'll use this horse in the place pot. But to recap my selection for the third from Meydan, it's the Group 3 Shindagha Sprint. Let's take as a top selection the 6-horse Isolate. Give kudos to the 8-horse Mubarak, whatever. 683 Tricast Trifecta. 6-8 in your place pot. So let's get to the fourth race, a co-feature on the program. It is the Group 2 Cape Verdi Stakes. It's a Group 2 event for Class 1 horses going for an $180,000 purse race for 3-year-olds and upwards. 12 horses are going 1,600 meters or a mile on the turf course. I'm going to take here as a top selection the number 12 horse with the Moonlight. Let's go 12-7-9 in your Tricast Trifecta. 12-7-9 Tricast Trifecta. Top selection 12 horse with the Moonlight. Godolphin owns is 4-year-old followed by Frankel. Charlie Outby trains. William Buick gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came here stateside Saratoga. Mile 16th at Saratoga in the Grade 2 Lake Placid. And the horse finished second by 3/4 length that day. And he stalked sitting some good fractions. He just couldn't get there late with a quick turnaround. Probably the horse was just a little bit tired. Couldn't get the job done, but she ran her heart out there. Refreshing here, getting Buick back up on fast ground over the mile. I think the horse could really run a good race. Two-back horse ran terrifically on the 7th of August Saratoga, mile 3/16 in the Mellon Turf Course in the Group 3 Saratoga Oaks. She won by 1 3/4 lengths, and she stalked. She got the lead. She quickened up nicely, and it was an all-around good race there for her there. And then prior to that, here at Belmont, a mile and a quarter in the Belmont Oaks. Over the inner turf course, she finished second by 3 1/4 lengths that day. She just needed something more. You know, McCulloch really had the jump on her late. And then before then, the Derby at Epsom with a mile and a half. She finished 11 by 26 lengths, and she just wasn't handling the mile and a half. Refreshing here, lesser quality horses over the mile trip at 2-1. She's going to be my single in the place pot. So to recap my selection for the fourth, the featured or co-featured Group 2 Cape Verdi Stakes. Let's take the 12 horse with the Moonlight. 12-7-9 in your Tricast Trifecta. We're going to single the 12 in the pick 6 or the place pot. Let's get to the featured fifth race, the 4:20 in the UK local time. From Meydan. It's the Group 2 Maktoum Challenge R2. It's going for a purse of $350,000. Races for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 9 horses going to the dirt. The distance of ground of 1,900 meters or mile 3/16 on the dirt course. Gonna take here the 6-horse Remorse as a top selection. Let's go 6-1-9 in your Tricast Trifecta. 6-1-9 Tricast Trifecta. Top selection 6-horse Remorse. The 6-year-old get on by Dubowie. Gets Tango Shea on this one. The horse's most recent outing came the 23rd of December here at Meydan on the dirt in a listed stakes over the 2,000 meters or mile and a quarter. And the horse won by a length that day. He stalked. He had to be used a lot to get the victory, but he got the job done. Probably second off the wrench. He should be a lot fresher. Should sit a little bit closer, and I think he'd get the trip to win. You know, he didn't run half bad in the Dubai World Cup. He wasn't going to win, but he ran better than I thought. Over the mile and a quarter here on the 26th of March, he finished 6 by 4 3/4 lengths. He was a little bit wide. He stalked. He just couldn't get the good turn of foot like the few in front of him, but not the world's worst race from there. And then prior to that, in the Maktoum Challenge Round 3 at Meydan over the mile and a quarter on Super Saturday, he finished second by a length that day. He stalked. Again, he just couldn't get the good turn of foot, but he ran his heart out there. And then prior to that, in the Jebel Ali Mile, he finished second by 1.5 lengths. And again, he just had a little bit of a wide trip, but he was gaining late. Coming here off some decent runs as a course and distance winner, I'm going to give him a shot here at 4-1. I think the one horse Algiers is your second likeliest winner. Won the Maktoum Challenge Round 1 here on opening night of the Carnival, very nicely going away by 6.5 lengths, but from a wide post draw. And the dirt debut, or back to dirt. Before that, ran in the listed stakes at Linkfield over the mile and a quarter back in November, where he finished second by a nose, and he just couldn't keep up late where, you know, he got caught at the line. And then at Newmarket in the mile and a quarter listed stakes at the end of October, he faced 2 soft ground, but he likes running on dirt. They're few and far between, but they are good races. He was your Jebel Ali Mile winner last season, going away, came back to run the Godolphin Mile where he had a very wide trip which cost him, but coming here, it wouldn't surprise me around 2 turns if he gets the job done. At 9-5, another horse to use in your plays pot. But to recount my selection for the 5th from Meydan, it's the Group 2 Maktoum Challenge Round 2. Let's take the 6-horse Remorse, give kudos to the 1-horse Algiers, 6-1-9 Tricast Trifecta, 6-1 in your place pot. The 6th event, it is the Group 2 Singspiel Stakes. It's a Group 2 event for Class 1 horses going for a $180,000 purse, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. 10 horses are going 1,800 meters or mile and 1/8 on the turf course. Got to take here as the top selection the number 8 horse, Shalir. I'm going to go 861 in your TriCash trifecta. 861 TriCash trifecta. Top selection 8 horse, Shalir. This 7-year-old gelding by Dark Angel. David O'Meara trains one. Daniel Thudhope gets them out. Very unusual for me picking, it seems lately, picking a non-Godolphin horse on the turf here at Meydan. But most recently, they ran the horse in the Singspiel Mile a few weeks ago on the 20th of January locally. 1 mile there, and he finished second by 1.5 lengths that day. And he just kind of stalked. He needed that more turn of foot late, but I didn't think he ran a bad race. He ran better than he did the week prior, or 2 weeks prior, in the Group 2 Alpha Heaty Ford. Over the 7 furlongs, he finished third by 4 lengths that day. He stalked. He had a little bit of a turn of foot, but the few in front of him were just a little bit better than him. And then prior to that, mid-October in the Balmoral Handicap at Ascot over the mile, he was an 80-1 upsetter, winning by 1.5 lengths that day. He didn't have the best beginnings, but he sat back early. He slowly moved his way up, and he went away with it. A very good race after all is said and done there. And then prior to that, in Heritage Handicap over the 7 Ascot, he finished 14th by 19.5 lengths, or 9.5 lengths, and just weakened out of it. He just couldn't keep up there. But come back here off some decent runs locally. I think he'd get a win over this track. I'm going to use him here. I think the 6-horse Ottoman Fleet is your second Lake Elise winner. There we go, picking that Godolphin horse for William Buick and Charlie Outby. Most recently now, Rashida a few weeks ago. The horse finished third by 1.25 lengths, where he just needed the more turn of foot. Coming here second off the bench, he should get a better trip. Before that, at Newmarket over the mile and a quarter in listed stakes, he won by 5.5 lengths. And again, stalked, got the lead, quickened up nicely. Even with the heavyweight, he went away with it there. And then the Darley Stakes in Newmarket in early October, he finished second by 1.5 lengths. And again, he was traveling well, but he just needed something a little bit late. Coming here today, 3-1. I'll use him in that place pot ticket. But to recap my selection for the 60 from Meydan, it is the Group 2 Singspiel. Let's take the 8-horse Shalir. Give kudos to the 6-horse Ottoman Fleet. 861 TriCash trifecta. 8-6 in your place pot. The nightcap, the 7th race from Meydan, it's the Valley Handicap. It's a handicap going for a $75,000 purse, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. 16 horses are heading to the lawn, 1,600 meters the trip, or the mile on the turf course. I'm going to take here the 11-horse Uzu as a top selection, or Ozu. I'm going to go 11-8-4 in your TriCash trifecta. 11-8-4 TriCash trifecta. Top selection 11-horse Uzu. 7-year-old gelding by Charm Spirit. Jamie Osborne trains as one. Safi Osborne gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came in handicap here on the 13th of January, Meydan. 1 mile there, and the horse finished third by 1.25 lengths. He stalked that day. I was on the drive most of the race, but he was excelling late. I didn't think it was a half bad race. Coming here second off the bench with a better trip, I think he can really get the job done. 2 back in Heritage Handicap in Newmarket, mile 8th, 24th of September. The horse finished 6th by 4.5 lengths that day, and he just kind of stalked. He needed something more late, but again, not the world's worst race for him there against those tough handicappers. And then before that, York on the 18th of September, 1 mile in that Heritage Handicap. He finished 5th by 3.5 lengths that day. He stalked that day, had to leave for a split portion. He got overtaken late, but again, I've seen worse races from him. His form hasn't been half bad as of recently. He's going to have to overcome a wide trip, but it wouldn't surprise me if he gets the job done. I think the 8-horse Tranquil Knight gets the job done also. Most recently at Ascot in June and a Heritage Handicap, he finished horribly. He finished 30th by 22 lengths, never getting the trip done. But before that in handicap during the Craving meeting last year at Newmarket over the mile, he won by 3.75 lengths again, won quite nicely. And then the races on the all-weather in the UK last year weren't bad at all. He's coming here locally for the first time, gonna have to overcome a wide trip, but it wouldn't surprise me if he gets the job done. We'll use him on that place pot to end it off. But to recap my selection for the 7th from Meydan, it's the Valley Handicap. Let's take the 11-horse Uzu. Give kudos to the 8-horse Tranquil Knight. 11-8-4 TriCash trifecta. 11-8 in your place pot. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.